All right. So, one thing about me that you may or may not know is that I want to be a voice actor. That is my aspiration to do full time, that be my career. And I, this evening, took the very first step to do that. I started taking the beginner course with the Voice Actor Studio based out of Las Vegas. I am not, unfortunately, in Las Vegas. I am in Virginia, literally in my closet right now. Um, but I decided to take that first step. I keep thinking, "Oh, I would love to do that. I would love to do that," and not taking action steps. So this is my very first action step. And as I'm taking these action steps, I just kind of wanted to document this and take you guys along with me. I'm having so much fun already. I already have, like I said, my closet, my little home studio set up just to the best of my ability right now. I know that I'll be developing skills and learning what to do to make this studio better. Um, but I just kind of wanted to talk about my first lesson, my first class with the Voice Actor Studio. So, Mila was our teacher, and she's absolutely wonderful. Very articulate, very kind, very supportive, very positive, and so far it's been a wonderful environment to be in. Very positive, like I said, and to kick off, she just kind of went through a couple of different like things that as a beginner you probably don't know, right? Like what are different voiceover genres, which there are a lot more than I thought there were. Really, there really are. I thought it was just like, oh, characters and commercial and audiobooks. No, like there's so much more, and that makes me excited to explore what other things that maybe I hadn't even considered because my main thing is characters. Um, I watch a lot of animated series. Maybe not a lot, but like I watch animated series, and there's a lot of voice actors that I absolutely love. Like I love Richard Horvitz, I love Brandon Rogers. Blake Roman is great. Erica Hennington, I think her name is. If you can't tell, I'm just listing off Helva Boss and Has Been Hotel character actor voices. Those are the shows. More specifically, Hell of a Boss. Those are the shows that I'm like, you know what? Like, I love the idea of this. Like, I've always thought voice acting was interesting. I always thought it'd be fun. I can do fun stuff with my voice. I can, you know, sing, I think, hopefully. And now, like, watching, not only just watching the show, but like learning more about Bryce Pinkman is another one. Learning about the voice actors and seeing the community is really what inspired me. Seeing videos of the cons that people go to and all the love and support that these voice actors get, but then also like seeing them on stage answering questions and like the community that they have, and how supportive that community is, and seeing how much a voice actor and the character and the life that they bring to that character can make a difference to someone's life. I think that chef's kiss, amazing. That was not chef's kiss, amazing. Like, and I want to be able to like bring that character, and like bring to life and be a character. You know what I mean? I've done theater all through high school, and I kind of fell off in my adult life, and I'm trying to get back into it, just because I do feel like it's a passion of mine, and it's something that I think about a lot, and that I really love doing, and kind of went off on a tangent, but like I really want to do character acting, but then learning all these different genres that exist, even like, commercial. Like I always thought like, oh, commercial, like capitalism, no way. But there's still character to it, and it's still like making it captivating and like getting people's attention, and all these other ones that I'm still learning about. Like this is again like the after my first lesson, so I don't fully know even e-learning and maybe narration for ebooks and things along those lines. Excuse me. Could be a lot of fun, and I'm so excited to explore those and see, especially what like our teacher thinks is more suitable for my voice, because like I don't know what's most suitable for me as of right now, because like I said, I'm still learning. And we also talked about like conversational pieces versus more like straightforward scripts and things like that. And like we wrote down like words that we think describe our voice. And I could not, like, I wrote down, what did I write down? Like, kind and friendly, I think. Yeah, I wrote down kind and friendly. And just because, like, it's so hard to, like, for me to analyze my own voice. I don't, like, I know what I sound like, but I don't. You know what I mean? So if you want to tell me what you think my voice sounds like in the comment in a nice way, like some adjectives or words, whatever, drop it in the comments below. But, like, that's hard for me. So what I'm excited about is she said on week 4 we get a one-on-one. I don't know if it's like an analysis, but like a one-on-one with her, and she kind of tells us like, okay, like based off of what I've learned from you over these past 4 weeks listening to you speak, I feel like these are the words that I would use to describe you best, and these are the types of gigs that based off of your conversational everyday voice that would be really suitable for your, the different voices and age ranges and all these things. So like I'm eager to see what she says my voice might be best suited for, because it could be very different from what I expected. And I think that's really exciting. We learned about name slating, which like I feel like I knew existed, but I didn't at the same time, I guess. So it's pretty much like, hi, I'm Allie Raymer with blah, 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 blah. Like if you have like an agency or whatever, and just like saying your name, like it's so duh, but like I'm like, oh, like that I didn't really think about, so kind of interesting. And she gave us some tips on like name slating, and then like booth etiquettes, do's and don'ts. Don't touch the microphone. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like things I didn't think of. Some things like I thought were common sense too, like, but it's not always, right? Like they have to say that sometimes because not everybody thinks that. Like, don't touch the microphone, don't burp into the microphone, like at least like turn your head to cough, little things like that. But then things I didn't think of. So again, as a beginner, having these little tips from a professional who's been doing this, like these little things are gonna add up. And I know I keep saying I'm excited, but really I am. Like truly I'm wildly excited to be able to take all these things and put them to practice. I feel like I'm a far, far way away from it, but I'm very excited about doing a demo at some point. My goal is to do at least one demo by the end of the year. Now, thankfully, it's the first week of the month of the first year. First week of the first month this year. So it's January 7th as I record this. So I'm excited to see if I can get a demo, like which demo do I do first. I really want to do character first, but I feel like maybe commercial might be the first step and then going from there. But through this course, I will learn which one's going to be best suited for me to start. So that's super cool. We also went around and kind of introduced ourselves. We talked about, like, they gave us a little prompt or like a list of things to choose from. And what I chose to talk about is if I could say one thing to my parents, what would it be? Or if I could thank them for one thing, what would it be? And I said, just for being so undeniably supportive throughout my entire everything. Literally everything I've ever done. They're like my number one cheerleaders. I feel like I might cry a little bit. I won't. But I've always been my number one cheerleaders, and I talked about being an only child, and no matter what I chose, they just said, you're killing it, and I love you, and I support you, and that has done so much for me in my life. So I spoke about that, and everyone had some really great stories. Some dude had a story about his car catching on fire. Wild stuff. One girl, she is in like a little Hobbit society thing in Las Vegas, and I think that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. Like, I'm in class with a Hobbit, and that's so fun. So we did that, and then they gave us a little like Mad. Do you remember Mad Libs, where like it has like pieces of the story missing and you fill it in? So they gave us one like that, and we each went through with our own. And that was really interesting too, because like the first story we told was our own story, but then the second story was a script, but that we made our own. So my goal with mine was to kind of sound like a very beginner, nervous voice actor, which I am and I'm not. Like, I felt very good about it, but then I also wanted to come across as, because the way the script read, you could take it a million different directions, right? But the way that I kind of took the script, I was like, oh, like, this is my first lesson, like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, that laugh was scripted, haha, like, that's where I wanted to take it. And I felt like it went across really, really well. And I think everyone, honestly, and I'm not just being like, everyone's so great. Like, no, like, I'm genuinely excited. There's that word again. Because everyone in this class so far, I can tell is like wildly talented. And we all have our own strengths. And that's so apparent right now. Just from like class number 1 with 2 hours, just the 2 hours of talking to these folks and being in the same room. Like, I'm zooming in where there's, I don't know, like 8 to 10 people in class. And then there's, a couple of us zooming in. Just being in this class with these people. My necklace broke during class, and I'm going to fidget with it while I talk. I can just tell, like, there's this one dude that straight up sounds like Darth Vader. And he is so, like, he has that deep, like, God voice, wild. And then there's this one girl who talks really fast, and she's really peppy, and, like, a wild range of everything in between. And I'm excited because as we were going through that script, the Mad Lib script that I just talked about, as we talked about that, or as we went through that, everyone had obviously their own spin and their own take. And I'm excited that through this course, I'm going to be able to pick up and like, oh, I like the way that so-and-so did this, or, oh, that was kind of cool the way so-and-so did that. I didn't think about it that, like, hearing people doing similar things and going through this with all these different people from different backgrounds and with different perspectives is going to help broaden my perspectives as well. And I think that's so cool. I'm so excited. I know I keep saying that, but that's the buzzword for tonight. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. And I'm just so grateful. So I'm just going to like go back a little bit and like even explain how I got here to begin with. So I've been excited about voice work. I kind of mentioned that, but then I was doom scrolling on TikTok as one does. And the Voice Actor Studio TikTok came up, and the owner, I think her name is Mel. I'm a little embarrassed I'm forgetting, but they did a video and they're like, hey, like, drop in the comments what, if you want to be a voice actor, like why you want to be a voice actor, and you could win a free seat to our workshop. It was like the beginner's workshop or intro to voice acting workshop this past Saturday. And I was like, for funsies, like, whatever. And then I get a message in my DMs, and they're like, hey, girly pop. They didn't say that, but they said, like, you've won. Here's some instructions to follow. And I was like, oh, like, is this real? So I did a little research. I went online, and, like, sure as shit, like, it was real. And I was a little nervous because, like, I wasn't sure. And then I hopped in there, and when the owner, I'm going to, like, pop up and see what her name is. But when she came on and started talking about her credentials and her history and like everything she's done, and the more she spoke, I was like, oh my, Melissa Motes, shout out Melissa, shout out to everyone there, quite frankly. But as she's talking, I was like, oh, like, okay, she's giving her credentials. I was like, oh, okay, like, she knows what she's talking about. Like, she knows what she's talking about. She knows how to tell a story. She knows how to have that conversation. I felt like I was sitting in the room with her. And someone in the comments had asked, like, oh, I was thinking about maybe like doing this like 4-week beginner's course, which I didn't know existed. Like, is that maybe like the next best step from this like seminar? And she's like, yeah. And she kind of like walked through everything that came with it. And I was like, that's a lot of good stuff. Like, that's a lot of good information. That's a lot of good lessons. Like, you get little, like, voice recordings of your little, like, bits every week. So you have, like, the audio files of what you say every single week, which is wild. And she went through all this stuff. And I was like, like, and they weren't trying to sell, and I think that's what sold me. Like, they did say, like, "Oh, you know, we have these things, and we would love to, like, have you and support you," but it didn't feel like I was being pushed to buy anything. It felt like a genuine community of people saying, "This is what I'm passionate about, and I have experience, and I want to teach you these things if this is what you want to learn." And I said, "I want to learn that. Yes, sirree." So I put in that credit card number, and now I'm here. And I'm just excited to document this first step. I hope it goes all the way to being a career for me. Um, if not, this will be like one of my last videos, but I hope that's not the case. Um, but I just wanted to shout out to the Voice Actor Studio for letting me be a part of that first seminar and like allowing me to have that free seat, because something I'm hoping is telling me that this is the first step in a very amazing direction. So shout out to y'all. Thank you for watching. I'm excited to share this journey with you. I'll pop on after next week, just do a brief. I don't want to like go like, I'm not trying to tell you everything they do. I'm just trying to go through everything that I experienced, but in a like nondescript way. So I'm not just selling all the little secrets, because that would not be cool, and I'm not doing that. But if you want to check them out, I'll drop the link down in the description. The Voice Actor Studio with Melissa Moats, and just I recommend checking them out. They're not sponsored. This is not sponsored. I'm just like super hype about all of it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.